Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, it brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start on reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are today. And indeed, I hope that you are well. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Glad you could join us. And where are you joining us from? Please leave us a message. Let us know where you are and indeed how you are enjoying Storytime. Thank you indeed for being here. And if you have any cool advice, cool tricks on how you have cozied up your space so you can enjoy Storytime, please let us know so maybe we can take a leaf too. Thank you so much for being here with us indeed. And we do have a wonderful book. I know it's snowing out in Illinois today. Massachusetts has had snow, and wherever else you've had snow, I think this one today is for you. And if you're a lover of poetry, well, we have this one from Robert Frost, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. And this one is illustrated by VIVIAN, MINEKER. And we're reading it with permission of the publishers, FAMILIUS. Thank you so much to them for allowing us to share so many of their wonderful titles here on Storytime. Welcome today, and thank you for being here with me. A beautiful book awaits, and apologies too for coming in a little bit late. Updates on things happening, but we are here. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you for your patience. Thank you. Here we go for story time. Who is here with us today, ready to enjoy that wonderful story? Before we check on who's here with us today too, please do not forget that we do have Marietta's book coming out March 1st, 2023. Keep an eye out for that one. Keep on the lookout for that one. It is coming. And hopefully to have Marietta here on Storytime. Excited for that. Thank you so much for joining in. Keep on the lookout. And I hope those that got there to Boldly Go books, I hope they've arrived. I hope that you're enjoying the stories. I hope that you've enjoyed reading it over and over. And of course, learning about Nichelle Nichols. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. How are you doing? Amanda West, good morning to you. And of course, Sarah and Nathan out in snowy Illinois. Zoe the puppy has exhausted herself playing in the wet. Sounds like a lot of fun out there. Heavy snow, so she is happily napping beside us. While we listen to today's story. Well, thank you so much. And indeed, Zoe, I'm glad that you're having fun out there in the wet and heavy snow. Thank you so much for joining in today. Good morning to you one more time. Sarah, Nathan, Zoe, and of course, Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining in, and glad you could join us on this snowy day. Now, good morning to you, Tara McNamara, Erin and Clara out in equally snowy Massachusetts. And we love today's picture. It is a beautiful one, isn't it? And that picture you see as you descend, because if you're on the Pahitian Islands, there's the big island and the small island, and I forget which one is which in terms of names, but one is Pahitian Bassa, and I can't remember the other one. But as you descend, you come around the corner, you just see this beautiful view with that that boardwalk on there too. So it is a beautiful one indeed, and the water is as clear as you will see anywhere, and as blue as you will see in most places too. Like, just wonderful. Thank you so much for joining in story time, and appreciate that you love that picture. And of course, if you have pictures that you want to share with us, please send them our way and we'll share them here on story time. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you for joining in. Kate, Garrick, and Theo is with us this morning out in snowy Pittsburgh. I think we picked the just right book today. This one indeed coming to you from Robert Frost and Vivian Mineker, and of course Familius. And this one is called Stopping by Words on a Snowy Evening. A beautiful one indeed. And hopefully you are ready. Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see you back here, Theo, and of course Garrick and Kate. Good morning to you, and coming to us from Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for joining in. Susan, good morning to you. Glad you have your coffee. You're ready for story time, and love to hear this morning's story. It is a beautiful one. Thank you for joining us and sending you love, and hope you have a wonderful day out here in Oakland. Thank you so much for joining in. Are you ready for today's story? Well, coming right up, Stopping by Words on a Snowy Evening. Get your mittens, get your boots, get everything you need for the snow. We are going to be stopping in the woods for a little bit. Thank you so much for joining in story time, and I'll catch you on the other side of this short message. Thank you indeed for being here with us today on story time. Appreciate you. See you on the other side.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell Adams. I'm a mama and an artist, and I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. LaMotta are so important.
Good morning and welcome back. Just checking to make sure that I have my stacks ready here. All the books lined up for tomorrow as well. All right, here we go. Stopping by Words on a Snowy Evening. Oh, yes, indeed. This one is by Robert Frost and illustrations by Vivian Mineker. And of course, we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, FAMILIUS. Thank you indeed for allowing us to read this wonderful book here on Storytime. Are you ready? All right, here we go. It is a beautiful one indeed. And if you love poetry, right place for you today. Oh, let me just open that so you can see. Beautiful, isn't it? Stopping by Words on a Snowy Evening. Written by Robert Frost with illustrations by Vivian Mineker. Published and read with permission of FAMILIUS. And this one is a special dedication. Need memories to those that we've lost, memories to those that we miss. And Vivian Mineker here says, to Renee, for all the memories we've shared and the ones that are still to come. Oh, absolutely. I think that could be all of us today, right? For all the memories we've shared and the ones that are still to come. Love it. Whose woods these? I think I know. Whose woods these are? I think I know. Who do you think? Whose woods these are? I think I know. And there's this deep story, the pictures too, just holding on so you can follow on that as well. Whose woods these are? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. Whose woods these are? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch the woods fill up with snow. Yes, whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch the woods fill up with snow. No, he won't. And who's that? Who else is there? Aw. And the memories come. The memories fill my mind. Aw. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He won't see me here, stopping my woods, watching the snow fill the woods. My little horse must think it queer. Why is this guy stopping in the woods? Who is he talking to? My little horse must think it queer. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Mm-hmm. Why are you stopping here? And it is so cold out. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake. Yes, my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake. Is there a frozen lake near you? The memories. Who was here with us? The darker evening of the year. The darkest evening of the year. Who's here? No. Memories. Memories of those we've lost. Memories of moments shared. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and the frozen lake. He gives his harness bells a shake. Yes, reminder, let's go. He gives his harness bells a shake. To ask if there is some mistake. Is this where you meant to stop? Yes, he gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there's been some mistake, if there is some mistake. The only other sounds, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Yeah. Quiet. The only other sounds, the sweep is the sweep of easy windy and downy flake. Of easy wind and downy flake. Doesn't that sound peaceful? Yeah. Aw. Memories, places to think, places to reflect. Yeah. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. Yes. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, giving me an opportunity to think and reflect on the memories and moments lived, moments past. The woods are lovely, deep, dark, and deep. But I have promises to keep. Oh, yes. And miles to go before I sleep. Yes, indeed. But I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Yes, indeed. I have promises to keep, as lovely as the woods are. I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. And that is the end of our book today. I will catch you on the other side of this short message when we're back to reflect on this beautiful, beautiful book. And I hope too that, we find these spaces in which we can reflect on memories, moments that we've lived. We can reflect on the ones that we've lost, on our loved ones, and of course on the happy moments, right? And then two places that we can think and maybe plan out a few things for our future, or why not take them as they come. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope that this one warms your heart this morning. It is a beautiful one indeed. Stopping by Woods on a snowy evening, and it is a classic from Robert Frost with illustrations from VIVIAN. And a big thank you, of course, to FAMILIUS for allowing us to share it here on Storytime. Thank you so much for coming in on that journey with us, and I hope that it will give you indeed a minute to reflect, a minute to think, a minute to breathe in and relax. And Susan, I know you can speak to the power of the woods to all of us. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Please do share away any tips that you have in what you found, the wonders of nature. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I'll catch you on the other side of this sharp message.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Davis. I'm a children's book author, illustrator, and high school art educator. I am the author of 30,000 Stitches, the inspiring story of the National 9/11 flag, illustrated by Sally Warren Comport and published with Worthy Kids Hachette Book Group. One thing that drew me to writing 30,000 Stitches was the idea that people from all different communities came out to stitch this flag and make it whole again. So I hope that when people read 30,000 Stitches, they remember the power of sharing our stories. When people came out to stitch the flag, they shared their stories, whether about loss or pain or love. We all have stories to tell, and by sharing our stories and listening to one another's stories, we can create a better understanding of each other and create a sense of connection and unity. And this is what creates a more inclusive world. I hope you enjoy your story time with Mr. Lamada. Bye, everybody.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining in today. And I'm just here looking around, trying to find one book. If you love that Robert Frost poem, please look out for this book called Hate That Cat. It is a beautiful one indeed, and goes into some classic poetry and that you can pick out and read. It is a wonderful one indeed. It is a good bedtime story. Not too long, perfect. And then the sequel to that is called Love That Dog. So you have Hate That Cat and then Love That Dog. So please find those as well. And I will try and find them. I find my copies here so I can show you how they look like. And they are beautiful indeed. Hate That Cat is a yellow cover, and then Love That Dog is this deep red cover. Beautiful book and a beautiful story. I hope that you can find that one. But please remember to join us again tomorrow for more story time. And April is coming as well. April is Poetry Month, so we'll try and bring more poetry books here to story time. But this one today is coming tomorrow, of course, is Hear Them Roar. Yes, 14 endangered animals from around the world. Come and learn about them. This one is by June Smalls and Becky Thorns. And of course, we're reading this one from FAMILIUS as well. And you know what? This one can do tricks. Listen to this. So you get to play all the different sounds, 14 different sounds on here, but it is a beautiful one. Join me tomorrow as we read on some of these endangered animals and see what we can do, what parts we can play in our communities, of course, and the larger world as well, to help protect other animals, to help protect these other animals that share this planet with us. It is not only ours, humans. We have others that share, other beings that share it with us, and we must take care of it. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. One more time, thank you for joining in. Yes, Nature Heals. Thanks, thank you, Susan, indeed, for sharing that one. I love it. Thank you so much for joining in. And you say, just spend the time connecting to the wonders and it makes us feel better. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for sharing that. And of course, too, I hope that everybody joining in is able at some point to be out in nature and get to enjoy it. I hope there's a park near you. I know that those are not spaces that are not, those are spaces that are not afforded to everybody. Those are not resources that are available to everybody. But if you do have one, I hope that indeed you get to enjoy it. And I hope that, we can be in a world where people can have access to parks, access to green spaces, and access to some quiet spaces where we can think and reflect. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Sending best wishes to everybody out there today. And of course, if it's snowing where you are, I hope that you still have your power. I hope you still have your heat. And I hope that indeed you are in a cozy space full of love, full of stories, and of course, full of laughter. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope to see you again tomorrow for more Storytime when we're back and we'll be looking at Hear Them Roar. Join me tomorrow and roar with me. Thank you indeed for being here on Storytime. I'll see you again tomorrow. Much love from me. Bye-bye.
Storytime with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to hear it. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to hear